Well, I've been up since 5:30. It's now coming up to 6:45. This is Rufus and the two larger compound dogs. Hey, Whitey, come on. Don't be rough. With a miserable face.
Why? Why the miserable face? Why?
Huh?
Why the miserable face?
Because I'm wanting things to go faster.
Okay. Wala bang tubig sa ano pala? Dadala ako ng tank.
Kailangan natin dyan.
You know, looking at all that greenery that's just behind us, where the corn is growing at the moment, and I've been looking out at having a sundowner once in a while as the sun's been going down, although we're still building and working, and contemplating whether we should buy this field at the back or not, or whether we should just try and lease it, because the Capitane's lease is coming to an end and he's not renewing it. So Richie has spoken to the owner, who's trying to now sell a piece of land. Difficult to sell because it doesn't have any road access, so whoever bought it will then have to tie up an agreement with someone to get obviously to it and from it and whatever they're using it for. So that's part of the complication with it. So it's ideally, it would have to be, they'd have to have some sort of arrangement with us or one of our neighbours to actually get through to it all the time. So it's complex. So obviously one of the neighbours or ourselves buying it or leasing it is one option that could happen, of course. But I was looking at it, we can use it for our Airbnb service. We can extend our crop growing activities on it, in terms of what we're doing with vegetables. But I was thinking of what a fantastic place to play cricket. What great piece of ground there to have a lovely pitch and cricket pavilion on the far side, and have some trees on the outskirts around it, and entice and introduce the game of cricket. And I think the Filipinos will be very good at cricket, actually. Cricket it was adapted well into Asia, in Pakistan, in India, in Sri Lanka, who are world-class cricketers. And obviously Australia are very good, New Zealand, South Africa as well. And obviously being English, cricket is one of my passions when I'm in England as a sport as well. So I enjoy a good test, Well, I also like the one-day games, or the short, or the 20 over games as well. But I cricket I'm much prefer the red ball cricket to the white ball cricket generally. But they're all good. They're all good. And I think the skill, the strategy, the thinking in cricket is something that the patience as well. I think it's something Filipinos would be good at, when it comes to this game, of course. But cricket is a game that has strengths. And if you take all the strong cricketing countries, although England introduced cricket, so I'd like to think of us as a strong cricket nation, but obviously countries that we've introduced the game to over the years, over the centuries, in Australia, in New Zealand, in South Africa, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and even countries like Afghanistan play cricket extremely well these days, playing extremely well. And many European countries getting stronger and stronger in cricket. Holland, Netherlands, probably due to their flat surfaces, they've become better at it. But it's just the uniqueness of the game. Things like spin bowling to seam bowling to fast bowling, and bowling certain techniques. The leg spinner. Bowling the googly. The googly is the where you deceive the bowler when he bowls. Okay, he's bowls a googly to deceive the batsman. The batsman's got to have great eyesight and great reaction. So when that ball leaves the hand of the bowler, he's got a fraction of a second to have his body position correct to deal with the ball as it comes at him. That's really what it boils down to. And a googly disguises how a spin bowler, leg spin, is bowled at the batsman. How can I describe it? I could have a cricket ball here. So when you're bowling as a seam bowler, you're disguising the grip of the ball to some extent. This is what is known as the seam. So a seam bowler bowls with power, precision, and it hits the seam. You usually hit one side or the other side of the seam, and the ball could bounce in this direction or it could bounce in that direction. And obviously the batsman is got sheer speed to deal with when he's having to deal with a seam bowler. So England has grown up on many more seam bowlers, fast bowlers, than spin bowlers. The great spin bowlers of our time, well, Shane Warne is obviously in Australia. He's probably one of the most famous. But there are many. India is particularly good with its spinners, leg spinners. But cricket, just getting back to the cricket game as a whole, cricket to me is something that I think would do well in this country. It's made for cricket. It's made for cricket. It's slow pace. It's thinking strategy wise in terms of from day 1 to day 4 or 5 when you're playing a 5-day test. The culture is right for cricket here. The country is right for cricket. I'm sure there are some cricket clubs in the country, in locations, like there are football clubs, and I even established there's a rugby club. Rugby sevens are here, and so there's some good sports being played here, not just American sports. Pardon the pun.
Too complicated for me.
Anyway, my wife's come in now, so we've stopped. So, well, my wife.
So Isaac,
It was no. I'm just put it on again now.
Okay.
So my wife. I was talking cricket. I just said to Richie that cricket would be good in the Philippines, and she was saying yes, but they play baseball here, which is the same as cricket or similar. There's nothing like it. It's very, very different in my view. It's a different game. No disrespect to baseball, because baseball is a game I've also enjoyed to. When I've been in USA, I've enjoyed to go to a game, see the atmosphere. But cricket is something different altogether. Cricket is a way of life. Cricket is a passionate way of life. You bring in cricket to the table, even in negotiations. You must have heard the saying sometimes. Well, that's not cricket, meaning that's not really playing by the rules. Yeah. Have you heard that saying before? When someone says that's not cricket.
No.
Okay. Yes, that's very interesting. I've just established cricket is actively played in the Philippines with several clubs and organized competitions across the country. Governing body, the sport is overseen by the Philippines Cricket Association, the PCA, which is recognized by the International Cricket Council, the ICC. Very good, very good. And the Philippine Olympic Committee, the PCA, organizes various leagues and development programs to promote cricket nationwide. Cricket clubs. As of recent data, there are 26 active cricket clubs participating in organized competitions under the PCA. These clubs cater to both expatriates and local enthusiasts, reflecting the sport's growing popularity among Filipinos. National notable clubs are Manila Nomad Sports Club, established in 1914. It's one of the oldest multi-sports clubs in the country and has been pivotal in promoting cricket. And then there's Manila Cricket Club, a foundational club in the PCA League, comprising members from diverse nationalities, including Australians, Brits, Indians, Kiwis, Pakistanis, and Americans. Regional presence. While Manila remains the central hub, cricket is also played in other regions such as Cebu, Baguio, Davao, and Angeles City, with social cricket matches and tournaments being organized on a regular basis. How to get involved? Okay, let's have a look at this. If you're interested in joining or learning more about cricket in the Philippines, the PCA offers development programs and can provide information on local clubs and upcoming events. You can visit their official website or contact them directly for more details. Cricket in the Philippines has a rich history and continues to grow, welcoming players of all backgrounds and skill levels. I think cricket on our field at the back would be perfect. Just a thought.